My name is Ellie Casement. I'm a senior at Tulane University in New Orleans, and I participated in the SIT Panama program focused on tropical biodiversity and marine conservation. I really liked the amount of travel we did around Panama. We really saw so many different cool ecosystems. I felt like I saw so much of the country and really saw more than I would have been able to as a tourist, which is really awesome. I also really liked the independent study project period where we got to kind of take everything we'd learned and like apply it and go and do a project of our own interest and kind of explore an area on our own and yeah, really develop our interest in a specific area further. And those were probably the two best parts of the program for me. I really liked the staff. You spend a lot of time with the same four people, and we got really close to the people who were running our program on a day-to-day basis, and that was really awesome. I felt like I really trusted them. I felt like they really knew me as a person, which was great. And then we had like professors who were experts in the different fields that we would be studying, and they would come in and teach a sort of week-long module, and that was really cool because we got to make all these connections with Panamanian scientists, different conservation leaders in the country, and that was really cool to kind of build that network of people who I now know in Panama and in Latin America who I can talk to about interests, like my personal interests as well. I did my research project on the foraging behavior of fish in the Caribbean, and so I went to Buniyala, which is an indigenous comarca on the Caribbean coast, and spent a month there studying fish through snorkeling. It was amazing. It was my favorite part of the program. It was a lot to organize, definitely. But once we got there was so much excitement of all of us kind of being on our own. I was there with a couple other students who were doing their own projects, but it was really cool to be able to do like a project that I was really passionate about and still have like the support of staff back in Panama City or my advisor who was a scientist at the Smithsonian to kind of give insight, but also really kind of challenge myself with the issues in front of me and like see how well I could do it then before, talking to an advisor or a professor. Yeah, it was amazing. I'm like very interested in the topic that I studied. I'd done an internship the summer before, and so like my project kind of built on that work, and then I am really interested in the type of fish I was studying. They're butterfly fish, and I hope to study them in the future. And I'm really interested. I'm pursuing graduate school in marine biology, so I think it's not just the skills that really are beneficial to me going forward in like project design and snorkeling and fish identification, but also the topic itself. Like I'm looking on ways to build on it in future studies, and yeah, it's definitely something that I'm using as a stepping stone going forward. I think it kind of depended on the point in our program. I think when we were in Panama City, there was more opportunity to interact with Panamanians just because we had a bit more downtime. And obviously we got to meet a lot of scientists, conservationists, and get to know those people. I think when we were on excursion, it was very busy, so we didn't have that much time to kind of explore the local towns and meet Panamanians there, but we did definitely meet a lot of people within the conservation field in Panama. I think that it's a very high-paced and kind of intense program, and so it's not your normal study abroad where you're like, oh, I'm going to be on the beach in Panama. You are on the beach, but it's not just like sitting on the beach, relaxing all day. It is pretty fast-paced and intense, and there's a lot of really amazing opportunities that come with that. But I think you kind of got to jump into it and just kind of be ready to go and keep going. And then suddenly you're going to get home in December and be like, oh my gosh, all these things, these amazing experiences just happened. And so I think you kind of need to be ready for that fast-paced nature of the program and kind of throw yourself into it in order to really enjoy it. I think the ISP actually felt like the calmest period when we were doing our own research, because you can set your own like hours theoretically, although we were spending a lot of time every day doing collection of data and analysis and writing. But I think it's just because at the program we focus on, or we learn about 7 different ecosystems in the course of like 3 or 4 months. And so just learning about so many different places while also getting to travel to those places is like an amazing thing that I would never get to do at Tulane or anywhere in the U.S. But it also comes with a lot of travel, a lot of switching topics, a lot of meeting new people. And so it's kind of like you get this amazing benefit of having really experiential learning, but with that comes a lot of really fast-paced transitions. I think I wish that I had tried a little harder to use my Spanish. I came into the program already with a pretty high level of Spanish and took Spanish class while I was there. But I think the people of Panama are really welcoming for you to try out using your Spanish with them and are really friendly people. And so it's a really welcoming community to work on your language skills and to also like make, I think Panamanian people in general are very welcoming and very open to talking to strangers. And so definitely like you can make the most of that, or you can only talk to Americans the whole time you're there. And so if you really want to make it Panamanian friends and work on your Spanish, work on your cultural immersion, there's definitely an opportunity for that, especially during the ISP period.